Is Ledger still a 100% safe and secure way for you to store your cryptocurrency? Well, in this lesson, I'm going to dive into some of the new findings that I've recently discovered that are making me feel a little bit more iffy about it, and why I've actually switched away from Ledger to use another trusted hardware wallet provider that I'll dive into in this video. For those of you that don't know who I am, it's because I'm brand new to the channel. My name is Ryan Horst, and I've actually been speaking on crypto stages all over the world in 4 different countries, educating individuals about cryptocurrency, why it's transforming our entire world, and how they can understand this technology so that they can learn how to take advantage of crypto like the top 1% of crypto investors. Now, to start to dive into the details of all of this, I want to start with Ledger's recent update that they had, which is Ledger Recover, which I know came out a little while ago, but it'll all make sense of why it starts here. Okay, so scrolling down here, basically what they launched here was a way for you to get access to your seed phrase by leveraging another feature of Ledger in case you lose your seed phrase, right? So never lose access to your wallet. And they have all these pictures of people losing their recovery phrases and then they weren't able to get their money, which is a serious problem that they are solving in the crypto world. So I appreciate them having this option, but for everybody, it wasn't always the best fit because it left some people with these questions of like, wait, if they're able to recover my seed phrase, does that mean that they have a way to get access to my seed phrase? Which cryptocurrency, in my opinion, is all about being able to have a trustless environment. So when you scroll down here further, what actually makes this possible? Well, inside of the Ledger device, there's something called a secure element chip, and I believe it's right here. So following your approval, your Ledger device encrypts your secret recovery phrase. This encryption is fragmented into 3 pieces within the secure element chip. These fragments become the backup for your secret recovery phrase. Each fragment is then securely distributed using end-to-end encryption and authenticated channels to the hardware security modules of 3 independent companies. So it is their secure element chip built inside of their Ledger device, which I have one right here, that allows them to be able to do this. Now, if I go a step further into research, you'll notice that not all of Ledger's technology is actually open source code. And if you're not aware of what that means, open source code essentially just means that anybody could go online and actually read the code that helps to make up the hardware and the software of Ledger. Now you can see right here that these 4 things are actually fully open source. And then these 2 things are available for review and verification, which is different from open source. So if I go down here, they'll say, what exactly is closed source? And you'll notice that the exact technology that allows them to do this Ledger Recover is one of the aspects that is a closed source piece of code. It's the secure element chip. So you'll see here that these peripherals are secure elements manufacturers' proprietary intellectual property. Revealing how the software drives these peripherals would reveal information protected by IP. That's one of the reasons. The other reason that they're saying is open source software reduces the need for trust from users. Very important. However, it's not entirely bulletproof. Open source software on non-secure chips will still be highly vulnerable to side channel and fault attacks. So to break down what they mean by that is that when individuals are able to actually read the code, then they're able to look for exploits of the code to be able to find a way that they can find a loophole, to be able to find a way to hack into that system. So this is a great point that they make here. So it's just about, what do you value? Do you value the ability of everybody to be able to audit the open source code to know that this is for sure something that's been viewed by everybody in the world, that it's not going to be something that malicious actors could jump in and be able to take advantage very easily? Or do we want to trust Ledger that their technology is safe and secure and that the audits that they implement through their third-party auditing system right here is something that we can trust? So this is still forcing us to have a level of trust involved in the process, where I know that in the crypto world, a lot of people are so bullish on it because of the ability to have a trustless environment. So to sum all of this up, I'm basically getting at, we are needing to trust Ledger and their third-party auditing systems that they're utilizing to audit their closed source code, and then provide to us with the proof, essentially, that there's no backdoors or malicious code that's inside of the technology. Now, with something as important as our seed phrases, we are still needing to trust individuals that this is being held safely and securely. Now, I've been trusting Ledger for a long time. I've met some individuals inside of the company, and they all seem like great people, and it would not be in Ledger's best interest to pull something bad here and take seed phrases by any means, because they would be in a lot of legal trouble. And we trust other companies like banks with all of this information to have all of our funds locked up in their accounts and all of these systems there, right? But now I want to go over to something and to point out that the headquarters of Ledger is actually located in Paris, France. Now, why is this something that I'm pointing out? Because as we're all aware, and if you aren't quite aware, then the Telegram CEO Pavel Durov was actually arrested in France. And the reason for that, from what they've stated, is that the arrest follows accusations that Telegram facilitates crimes like drug trafficking, fraud, due to its anonymity features. Durov faces serious charges, including terrorism and narcotics trafficking. So they are hitting him with some very bad charges here, just for having a platform that allows people to communicate freely. Now, Telegram has actually opened up since then and is defending their founder, and they're saying that Durov's commitment to privacy and freedom of speech has always been clear. So Telegram abides by these laws, blah, blah, blah. It is absurd to claim that a platform or its owner are responsible for the abuse of that platform. Almost 1 billion users globally use Telegram as a means of communication, as a source of vital information. We're awaiting a prompt resolution of the situation. Telegram is with you all. So basically, France is coming after the CEO of Telegram because he's not moderating and censoring his platform to the way that they see fit. So just because other people are leveraging their freedom of speech to sometimes do things that might be bad, we don't know 100% sure, right? I'm not in there. I haven't seen all the text messages inside of the platform. They're saying that he is effectively responsible for that. Now, there are some also claims that they're saying that they were trying to come after and try to take some of this information from him to be able to make the communication not as private, and so that the government can actually have access to some of these records of communication, which could actually been one of the reasons why this was triggered, because he wasn't cooperating with them. Now, but that would also get rid of his commitment to privacy and freedom of speech, which is something that he's been holding for the mission of Telegram. So then that takes me back to this point, which is where we see that Ledger's headquarters is actually in Paris, France. So what happens if the French government were actually to go after Ledger and try to pull something to where they try to get information, and if Ledger does have this ability to access information for Ledger Recover, well, would the government of France be able to leverage their powers to be able to take seed phrases from Ledger? And I don't know the answer to that question, but all I know is that if there's even a 0.1% chance in my mind that this could happen, I want to avoid it personally. So with that in mind, what is a solution that I have actually come up with? So when you actually get a seed phrase, you're given a list of 12 to 24 or whatever amount of words that will help you to unlock your wallet, if in case you lose it or you need to import it into a different wallet or something like that. And this actually came to be back in 2013 through the Bitcoin improvement proposal, BIP 39. And this was actually proposed back in 2013. And if you were to look up the BIP 39 word list, you'll be able to find all of them right here. I think there's like 2,048 words. Yeah, right here. 2,048 words, and each of them have a number that correspond with it. Now, the individuals that actually invented this are Marek Palatinas, Pavel Rusnak, Aaron Voisin, and Sean Bao. Now, upon doing further research into other cryptocurrency cold storage wallets that I could utilize, I ended up finding out that the founders of Trezor are Marek Palatinas and Pavel Rusnak. Now, you might notice these are overlaps right here. So the individuals that actually founded BIP 39, which is seed phrases in the first place, we only used private keys before that, are the same people that founded Trezor. So then finding out that information, I did more research, and then I ended up finding out that all of the software and the hardware that Trezor uses is all open source, even their secure element chip inside of their Trezor device, which I have one right here. So now the choice that somebody has to make is realistically, do they want to trust Ledger to where they could have the ability to have that ability to have Ledger recover, which is a very convenient tool? Or do they want to utilize a system that is completely trustless that allows them to have even the software that is utilized in order to create the seed phrase is also open source, so that they know for sure that the seed phrase was created without any ability to have a backdoor or malicious software built in on top of it. Now, I will still say I believe Ledger has good intentions. I think they've just simply made a shift in their approach, in their business model, that is going to really cater to the individuals that are more in that Web 2 mindset, that are okay with the idea of trusting a third-party entity, because a lot of people want to trust a third-party entity. A lot of people want to hold their funds with a bank. They don't want that sole sovereign responsibility of having their assets for themselves. They want to trust somebody else because maybe they don't trust themselves. And if that's you, then maybe Ledger is the right move for you to take and to utilize something like Ledger Recover. But if you are a sovereign ownership maxi and you are a maxi with open source software and having a trustless system, then maybe Trezor is a better system for you. So because of everything that I just discussed in this video, that's the reason I've actually switched over to Trezor myself. And I gotta say, after utilizing their tool, I found that it's not plugged in so you can't see it, but I found out that their just tool here is a lot more intuitive to be able to leverage the touchscreen on here. It doesn't have the buttons where you're clicking back and forth, which has been really nice. The Trezor suite for their software I feel like is way more straightforward. I also really like their ability to have a passphrase, which adds almost like a 25th word to your 24-word seed phrase if you go with the 24-word option. So I've really enjoyed it so far. Now, all of these things are stuff that we're going to be teaching a lot more in depth on in the educational program that we're going to be launching for you guys very soon. And in that, we're going to be talking about our ironclad crypto security strategy, which also includes why I go with 24-word seed phrases as opposed to a 12-word seed phrase. And now, if you do go with a 12-word seed phrase, you're more than likely fine. But one of the reasons that I do go with that, and I'll just throw that in right now for you guys, is because we don't know what's going to happen with quantum computers in the future. They're able to guess so many iterations of a password that it's going to be way easier for a quantum computer to crack a 12-word seed phrase through brute forcing it than it would be able to do a 24-word seed phrase. And now, if that's gibberish to you, don't worry about it. We'll have more information about that inside of the educational I can't say too much about it. Inside of the educational program that we're building out for you guys that I really think is going to help a lot of people. So if you are interested in getting a Trezor or something, I'm sure we'll throw in a link below so that you guys can check that out. But that's my reasoning behind why I've actually switched away from Ledger recently and have gone more towards having a Trezor device.